Good afternoon, folks. We're at the Board of Directors meeting for Port Susan Camping Club. We do this every 2 weeks. We try to get out as much information as we possibly can to you in this COVID era. Tell your friends, tell anybody that you know that we're on television for at least an hour or two every 2 weeks. I'm going to start the meeting with a call to order. All right. Now, roll call. Bill, would you please?
President,
Here.
Park Manager acting,
Here.
VP,
Me, I'm
I've
here.
been at acting school for the last week.
Scott Murphy,
Here.
Terrell,
He's on the call.
Nancy,
Here.
Donnie, me, here. Jenny. Jacob,
Did you call Scott? Yeah. Okay.
you got your hearing aid?
Not yet, but I'm going to.
No. Dean. I don't even see, oh yeah, he's always absent.
Okay, 8 are here, and one is participating through the magic of television. Now, I know all you have read the voluminous meeting minutes from last meeting that read something like the Great American Novel.
Somebody do a voice to text.
He worked for over a week.
He padded it a lot with stuff, but anyway, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
Yeah,
I'll second him.
All right, the motion has been made and seconded that we approve the minutes as read. All those in favor, please raise your hands. All those opposed? All right. Yes, Mr. Secretary.
on the minutes, I wish the people that want to say something, raise your hand and let Bill say you, when you can talk. It's hell when you listen to a recording, you're going and all of a sudden somebody pops up with a question that has nothing to do.
I think that's
I would
reasonable.
appreciate it.
Get a name with a voice.
You should be able to recognize all by now, Bill. I mean,
Oh, yeah, after 3 hours for a week and a half.
yeah. You did a yeoman's job, though. Really good job on the minutes. Next item is President's remarks. I wanted to say to you people out in television land that we're going to go into an executive session again. This regular meeting is going to be rather short. The executive session is required because we're talking about individuals in the park and personal information about those individuals. So it is inappropriate and downright illegal to talk about that kind of stuff to the general public. So we apologize, but we have to go into an executive session. Okay, treasurer's report, just a quick, you're still working with,
Still working with Anita and the accountant, putting the financials together, and we'll have a revised statement.
yeah, we're doing a restructuring of the financial statements that should give us something that's a lot clearer and easier to read than they have been in the past. So that's a good thing. All right. We need a report from the park manager, Pat Jute. He was away for 10 days. He came in, walked into his office, got hit by a storm, walked out and started crying, but I think he's okay.
I went to the doctor this morning. So the first part of my report has always been about COVID. On the trip I was on, we traveled through 6 different states. It was really interesting. They were both blue and red. And you'd travel into one state and stop to get gas or something, and there would be a sign on the building, if you don't wear a mask, you will be arrested. We would cross into a red state directly next to that one, and there would be a sign up that says, if you are wearing a mask, you will be arrested. It was a really interesting dynamic, let me tell you, going from state to state. Everybody's a little different.
Welcome to
Unfortunately,
America.
we are in one of those states that says you will be arrested. So there has been some downturn in the COVID experience. The residents reported 8 current active cases. That's up 6 from the last time we talked, and 69 in-home isolations. That's up considerably from where we were before. In the park, we've had our own experiences. We've had 5 employees out on isolation. Fortunately, they've all been tested, and they tested negative. And we've had some of the contractors that have been in the park who have had an experience and have isolated as well. They have one person who was confirmed with COVID. He is not in the park. All of the rest of the employees have been tested and confirmed negative. And we also had a member in the park that was tested, has been in the hospital, and we consider highly probable as a COVID patient. You've probably been seeing it on television. The state is looking at counties who no longer meet the requirements for phase 3. Unfortunately, again, Snohomish County has fallen into that group. Tonight, they're deciding whether or not Snohomish County will be pushed back. The likelihood is high that it will be. We won't know until tomorrow. It would take effect on Friday. So we'll say more about that when we know more. Current activities, we are still forging forward with our plans for Memorial Day. We have plans for the fishing derby. The tribe has confirmed that they will be stocking the lake. Part of that fishing derby, we are hoping to be able to issue squirt guns to all the young fishermen and put the rangers in their boat that they haven't used for years and let them roll past the dock and see if they can get out of the range of these fishermen. We're planning a number of other activities, meals that weekend, a music in the park event, and a throwback pancake breakfast on Monday, trying to take us back to some of the older days in the park and some of the fun things. We'll have some games set up out in the field. The big event will be our annual meeting, which is scheduled for 10 o'clock Monday morning at the sports field, and then the music in the park event will follow that.
Cheryl has a question.
What's happening Monday? Isn't the annual meeting Saturday?
Yeah, that's correct.
I was curious what you were saying was happening Monday.
Monday is a pancake breakfast at the sport field.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's see, the DMT activity, look for a year-end report here soon. Char's working on that. Char and Bill have worked on developing a reporting format, and so we'll know about that. Building upgrades, the Family Center store has closed. It is in the phase of moving back to the Family Center, and there's a grand opening planned May 8th, which is a firm date at this point. The laundromat upgrades are near completion. We've a couple of signs to hang back up and some trim to paint, and that's pretty much finishes it. Same with the laundromat. The planting beds have been completed. We're in the process now of replanting and putting in barriers so that you can no longer run them down, or at least we hope. So the mailroom is nearly complete. Asphalt roads are completed, and we're moving forward to do some concrete work around the family center, which will be done before Memorial Weekend, and some resurfacing in the laundromat mailroom area. There's no new news on the PPP loan. We're just in that waiting process. We're optimistic that our loan will be forgiven, but we don't know that yet. The board election, there have been some questions, but we are over the number of votes we've ever received before so far, and we still have a number of days yet for members to vote. There have been a couple of questions about the mail-out ballot options, and they are getting answered. And so hang in there, call the number that's given to you, and see if we can get your vote in.
Hold it, Pat. Deb?
Do you know how many people have voted so far?
625 have voted.
Thank you.
I just like, excuse me, I'd just like to make a comment. Remember, folks, if you have 2 lots or 3 lots, you get a vote for every lot that you own. So don't forget to vote for every lot, because that's important in the overall count. All right, Pat.
The S2 program is moving along. There's schedules to install the new card readers at both the front and back gate, and the new card reader should eliminate a number of problems that you've experienced at the front gate, where you need to be so close to the reader in order for it to read your card.
When will that happen?
I'm not sure the exact date. John, do you know when they're coming? You know, Frankie's working with them, so.
Okay.
But I'd say it's in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
All right.
There's a question still about the 3-hour pass. I'll bring that up during the motion period. The grid, as I mentioned earlier, was shut down this week due to possible COVID exposure. They are back working now, less 1 employee. There are meter and repeater issues that are being seriously evaluated by both the manufacturer and people from Port Susan. We will get to an answer, and I will provide a complete report on the electrical issues. So I'm at motions. There are no foreclosures this week. I would again present the 3-hour pass, replacing both the 90-minute and 6-hour pass. A 3-hour pass every day would give you 90 hours in a typical month. The 6-hour pass gives you 12 hours in a typical month. And what it does is you would card in and card out, and if you were not in the park longer than 3 hours, you would not be charged for that day. I know we haven't really talked this through yet, but it will be part of the programming that they're working on right now, so that as we convert from S2 to, as we convert to S2 from the old system, that would be a dramatic change. And, you know, it may even take some member comment, but again, the value is that we no longer have so much employee involvement. The computer will do it all, and we don't have to chase you anymore and look to see if you're doing it. and you get more time, free time, as a result of it.
Excellent.
So,
So are you suggesting that there's a motion needed sometime in the near future?
yes, I believe that there is.
Well, would you please work with Deb, the Vice President of the Board, to come up with a motion to bring to the Board as soon as possible?
Okay?
Thank you.
So the next motion I have is DMT van, the silver van, is beginning to leak oil from the transmission and the engine. It's repairable, and we can send it in to get it fixed, or we could take a look at Char's request for a new vehicle. It is not so bad that it can't be sold or traded in, which would be a first try. And with the vehicles that she presented, they were all used. And the prices range between $20,000 and $24,000 for a replacement. So if we were able to sell the silver van, which I don't know what its value might be yet, so this transition for her would not be terribly expensive. And so we would request a motion allowing her to buy a vehicle, to select a vehicle and have the park replace that. The green van would be turned over to the mail center so that they don't have to use their own vehicles to go back and forth to pick up the mail at the front gate.
Give him more room.
Yeah, they could carry more stuff and more room.
So would you like a motion now?
I would.
So Deb,
Okay, motion allowing DMT to purchase, what's the name of the vehicle?
Well, it's not new, so it'd be a used vehicle, but she gave me a package of cars that are out there. And it was like a Forester, a Subaru Forester, or a Toyota, or a Hyundai. They're Santa Fe. They're all sort of a small SUV.
Well, we're not gonna be specific on that,
but we need
or up to.
a figure.
Yeah, I would
For up to
say,
25,000.
yeah, that's what I would say, 25,000.
Up to,
Okay, motion allowing DMT to purchase a vehicle for up to $25,000.
And we have the money to do this, right?
Where are we getting the money?
So, two things. One is that in our preliminary, very basic preliminary year end, there is a considerable amount of money left from our operations. That's not going into any of the money that we've designated for capital improvement. So it actually would wind up, I'm proposing a capital improvement fund that we can chip off of as we go along through the next fiscal year. It would actually come out of that fund.
now let's hold the questions until we have a motion on the floor. So Deb, read the motion.
Motion allowing DMT to purchase a vehicle for up to $25,000.
Do I hear a second? Okay, Dean seconds.
We're not gonna ask questions.
Now we have questions. So Bill, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. I'm hoping that the DMT van is gonna get fixed before we give it to the mailroom.
So,
Otherwise, it leaks all down there on the new pavement.
so they're proposing to give them the green van, which doesn't have any mechanical problems at the present time, and selling the silver van, which is the one that's leaking. And we have a bid on fixing the silver van. It was like $2,500. So what we're thinking is we're going to offer it as a trade, and if the trade doesn't fit in what we're looking at, then we'd just go ahead and sell it, put it on the open market.
You have another question, Bill?
A suggestion.
A suggestion?
You think we need to buy insurance for over mileage and that? Like I have on my Jeep, if it breaks down, I get it fixed and I pay $100.
So you're talking about a warranty.
Yes,
Yeah, it'd be certainly worthwhile looking at. I agree with you there.
Thank you for the suggestion.
And, you know, we have not done that with the Hyundais that the Rangers have purchased because they have a lifetime warranty and they have service a service contract with the dealership, so they take them in for service and warranty.
Yeah, but that's a new
Yeah,
vehicle,
so,
right?
but this, we would look at, that would be a good idea.
Okay. So all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. All those opposed? It's unanimous with people sitting here. Terrell, you want to vote?
She raised her hand. She raised her hand. Terrell, you're not on a screen, so if I see you raise your hand, or if you just want to say yes or no when they do the votes.
So did she say yes or no?
She said yes.
Okay, it's unanimous. Moving right along.
So I have trouble bringing motions to you that don't cost money, but I have one. Over a year ago, the board passed a motion to increase the cost of storage to $500, an annual fee. And we have completed the work on storage lot 1 and are preparing to put it in the market so that we can start renting spaces. But all the spaces are not 40 feet long, and so we want to discount the shorter spaces. I sent out a spreadsheet that showed what the difference was for shorter spaces. And so what I'm doing is asking, do we need a new motion to cover the lesser charges for smaller, or are we just good, you know, it's $500 and let us figure out the shorter spaces?
Wait a minute. Nancy and then Bill.
I was just gonna say, after reading what you sent out, I went and looked up at the site too, and it looks fantastic, and I think it's a really outstanding idea, because obviously if we have a smaller site, we shouldn't start charging a premium charge. Oh,
Yeah, use the microphone when you're, so it's probably close down, so no one can hear you.
the storage lot looked really great. I like the plan, and I think it makes good common sense for the smaller storage sites to have them cost less. I don't think we need a motion.
I don't think so either. Bill?
Well, that's what it's gonna bring up. I went through the motions today, and there's nothing about raising it to $500.
We did a motion.
Yeah, we did.
We did a motion,
Yeah,
but
we
I
did.
didn't find it on the list. And if we're gonna do this, it's gonna have to have a motion to rescind.
Hold on. Jenny?
I just had a question after we have this conversation, so
Okay.
I don't want to take from that conversation.
Nancy, you want to jump in?
I know that we made the motion. That's been, what, 2 years ago?
Well, it's been, I was head ranger when we requested that because we were looking at trying to redo all the storage.
So apparently we're having trouble locating the motion. Is that what I'm understanding, Bill?
Yeah, I thought Raquel found it and sent it to Vanita. I don't have it with me.
It's an
so-
easy fix. We can just do it again. I mean, you know, if we can't find it, we can't use it.
Deb?
What we could do is rescind it, and I'll just have Raquel fill in the motion number we're rescinding, and then just write the motion the way we want it now.
Because it's a good plan.
Okay, so give me a motion, Deb.
Okay, so it'd be motion rescinding, motion number, and then we don't know what that is. Raising storage lot costs,
Rental fees, yeah.
yeah.
To up to $500.
It was to $500. So the first motion would be motion rescinding motion number, whatever it is, raising storage lot rental fees to $500.
Okay.
So I'll bring the motion.
And
Okay, Scott
before
seconds.
before you second it, I just wanted
And-
clarification.
Wait a minute, Jenny. Okay, now Jenny.
Okay, clarification, is that 500 annually or 500 a month, or what is that?
Annually.
Okay. That should be in the motion.
You're right. That's
Any other discussion about rescinding the prior motion so that we can make a more clear new motion? Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hands.
I had a question.
What?
You had a question?
I'm sorry, Bill, I didn't know that you had a question.
Okay. The only thing I'm afraid of is when the members see this that are in the other stores lots, they're gonna want to be treated the same way now. And they might be coming back and asking for refunds.
Well, there was an issue with the billing. The admin did not get the increases, so they were sent out initially at the older rate. And I don't disagree with you, Bill. We have a plan that all of the storage lots will be completed by summer, probably midsummer. They're moving to storage lot 5 next. There's not a lot to do there, but it'll be leveled, cleaned, marked, and re-gravelled. And then they're going to take on storage lot 3. And so storage lot 3, of course, is the big one. And we're not renting anything in any of the other storage lots until they're completed. So, but we're going to fill up storage lot 1. It is on the table right now, able to be rented. And I guess what we do is deal with the complaints when we get them. All of the spaces have always been considered 40 feet. That's how they've been treated. So we know that in storage lot 5, because of the septic system, that those spaces must be shorter because we're parked on the septic system now, which we should not be. And this will correct that and make shorter spaces there. So none of the people in there, until we get there, really are, I don't believe, are impacted.
Okay. Now, shall we vote? All those in favor of rescinding the prior motion, please raise your hands. All those opposed? It's unanimous by the...
What about Terrell?
Terrell's...
I'm in.
Okay. It's unanimous. Now, the new motion should be, and Debbie is writing furiously.
Motion on,
You know, if you wrote right-handed, it would go
I
faster.
know. Okay, so I don't know how you want to phrase this.
Don't be too exact.
From between $300 to $500 a year, depending on the size of the
Depending on
lot.
Size.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Don't have to put prices. Stick your rate based on the top. Then it gives us the opportunity to make changes down the road.
But we raised it from 250 to 500, and now we just did away with 500. So what, we need to give a parameter.
Up to $500.
Up to $500.
Depending on length.
Would
Yeah, up to $500.
establish those parameters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dollars. Okay. Motion increasing the cost of the annual, of annual storage lot fees to up to $500
Depending upon the
Depending.
size.
on this,
On the size of the space.
You might even throw in, which can range from $300 to $500.
And that still gives some latitude.
12.
Yeah, they're all 12.
okay. Motion increasing the cost of annual storage lot fees to up to $500, depending upon the size of the storage space. Prices can range from between $300 to $500 annually
Okay.
per space.
So that's the motion. Who seconds? Donnie seconds. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. All those opposed? Terrell? Okay, it's unanimous. Moving right along.
So I have just one more motion for this. Yeah, I saved the best for last.
Your salary goes up to
Yeah.
$5 million.
We purchased a bucket truck because we can't reach any of the lights in the park to change the bulbs. We always have to go out and rent something. And it's a good truck, it operates well and everything else, but it is short on its lift. We cannot reach all of the things that we really want to. Doug Wesson has a boom lift truck, and he's replaced it recently with a newer and taller version. He's offered to us his lift, and it is a diesel in really good condition and well suited, probably even better suited than what we have for the type of work we need to do in the park. And so I would like to purchase that truck from Doug and sell the one we have. It has a value of $8,500, so Doug has asked $10,000 for his. So we'd be looking at a $1,500 difference, maybe more. We paid $8,500 for the truck we have. We might not get that for it, but nothing much has changed on it. You know, it is in good condition.
Deb?
So are you going to be spending less than $10,000? Or less than $5,000?
Well, if we sell the truck, but we have to give Doug $10,000 right now to get his truck. So
Okay. Because I was going to say, if it was only $1,500, you didn't
Yeah.
have to come to us, but,
we don't want to have two bucket lifts. There's no purpose for it.
Yep.
And the one we have is gas, and this one is diesel. It's going to be, it should last longer and service us better.
so the motion would be, motion allowing the park to purchase Doug Wesson's diesel boom lift truck for $10,000.
Correct.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Nancy seconds. Discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hands.
Carol, raise your hand for discussion.
When we have this truck, I want to make sure it's all copacetic. Because he tends to kind of drive his vehicles into the ground.
We
She
just
knows
made him
what
take
she-
one out of the park that was leaking oil badly and showing up on the roads. It is, you know, we insisted that it be removed, and he's taken it away. And I think that that's one of the reasons that he's starting to look at his equipment a little more closely. But we've checked this truck, and it is not leaking oil, and it appears to have a pretty good useful life left.
Yes.
How old is it?
Wait a minute, Terrell. Jenny?
What year is the vehicle?
I don't know if I have that in here. John, do you know?
1922.
Then it's an antique, the price should go
Yeah,
up.
it should go, yeah. Nowadays. Any other discussion?
I don't have the answer to that question with me.
I didn't think you would. Okay, we're going to vote now. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. All those opposed? We have one
What about Terrell?
dissenting motion.
Carol, did you vote no?
She voted no.
Okay, two. Okay. Next, anything?
So I will report back to you when the bucket truck is sold that we have, so that you know where we wind up.
All right,
And we'll take another shot at Doug on the price before we
yeah, I would.
close the deal.
And he may-
And that's all I have.
he may shot you back. All right. Yes, Terrell?
Just have a question for Pat on the paving. We're done.
I'm not sure that I understood the question.
Say it again, louder.
So you had stated that we are done with the paving project with
Yes.
So are we not doing rescue fields like the Forty Spot or down Roberts?
So what we did was the repairs on the major areas on the asphalt road and throughout, throughout the area with more concentration on up to the four-way stop, because that's where how far we are along with the grid project. And we didn't want to go fix stuff and then need to cut it up later as the grid moves through the park. So we made repairs to major areas. Maintenance has gone out and marked all of the potholes that are along the side of the road, fully with the intention of going in and repairing them until a future date when we can have a second phase on road repair. That would be as the grid moves along into the park. And we would pick up any of the corners. I don't like the corners where we, there's not wide enough and the cars come too close to each other and we're breaking off the edges. So maintenance is going to work on those. They have the equipment to do it. And then down the road, we'll take a look at other areas. But the main problems that we've had throughout the asphalt roads have been taken care of.
I'm just surprised that we didn't fix the four-way stop, because that's a considerable pothole there.
Yeah, maintenance will fill that pothole, and then that whole area will get redone, but I'm not sure we're done cutting it up yet.
Okay. Deb?
Before I forget it, I'll forget. I don't mean to catch you on the side. While you were gone, we got a call from a member who, sold her trailer and took a big loss because she had a lot of scratches from the low-hanging branches. And I think you had handled that. John had talked to her about getting those done, and I received a phone call today, and she was saying, from kind of back to the, from about to the back of the park. Is there a way that we could get some limbing going?
So we've discussed this in the past. I've discussed it with maintenance in the past, and we couldn't get anything done. John and I have discussed it, and of course I've given him a lot of little tasks which he jumps right on top of, and has taken on a bunch of stuff. And this is one more of those that, as we are able to improve the staff with maintenance, we're again short, that we'll be able to spread out and do this kind of stuff. It also, the lift truck, it will help us. It'll get the guys up into the trees to where they can do limbing. And I agree with the member who wrote that note. I looked at it at the time, that our overgrowth over the roads and even in the sites has been not attended to for a number of years. And so, yes, we're headed that way.
Thank you.
John has a...
John, go ahead.
Yeah, Doug's crew, as they don't have other things to do, are starting to limb up some of the trees, and they've done this before, so they understand what needs to be done up to 18 feet, and that's what they're working on.
Thank you.
As they're not doing other things.
Thanks, John.
How about the potholes?
Potholes are being worked on as we get time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sooner the better. All right, Pat, are you done with your
I am.
opus magnus
Thank you.
there? Okay. Moving right along, we'll move into old business. Just a quick question, have we heard from Larry Trivet about whether community service options are viable in the park, or anything from him? Anybody? Okay, moving right along. Reports from committees. Let's go through some of the committees. How's the sounding board coming?
We should be having a meeting this week. We're still looking for more volunteers. We want to start working on getting together the orientation, the new member orientation again, because I think that's a missing component.
Very important focus of that committee
Yeah.
right now.
Right, and that's where we kind of want to go. And they have the packets, and we'll start working on a plan. I think with Pat's permission, there'll be, you know, like maybe if you get into like DMT stuff and some of the stuff like that, that'll probably be videotaped at some point. And so we'll work with Jacob and Pat on that, if that's okay. Okay.
Okay. Anything from the adult club?
Yeah, we are really trying to figure out a way to have a pool tournament over Memorial Day weekend like we have in the past. And of course, I'm sure that is all going to be contingent upon the COVID restrictions that might come up tomorrow or by the end of the month. Anyway, we're trying to figure it out, and Kemi has sent me a proposal that will limit the number of people that'll be able to be upstairs in the pool room at any given time, and it'll, you know, we'll just hope for the best on that, because the guys are really wanting to do this. And along with the horseshoe tournament, that is being discussed also. And then the fishing derby is you know, being pushed forward, and we're really hoping that all of this can be done. And you know, we just don't know right now. It's, you know, it sounds like it, you know, we have everything in place to do it, but if we're pushed back to phase 2, you know, who knows?
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Deb?
Jenny, do you have, well, I'm trying to be good. Jenny, do you have any idea what the Tulalip tribes will do if it, I mean, you may not know, but if we go back to phase 2, will the Tulalip tribes also go back to 2, do you think?
Depending on what we're doing out here. So they take into consideration what the governor has suggested, and then they decide on what our community's doing, so.
Because I think we kind of go with what the Tulalip tribes.
Correct.
Jenny, let us know what the tribes are, which way the tribes are going as soon as you can, would you please?
I will. Question with your pool tournament, is there any way we can have an outdoors pool tournament?
No.
I know, but you can rent pool tables from Billard Pool in Everett. Okay. Just thought, you know.
Real pool tables don't move.
Maybe we could peel back the roof.
Yeah. Anything else from the adult club?
Offhand.
Okay. I'm going to, Scott,
Yeah.
right.
There's a dinner Wednesday night,
Oh, yeah.
enchiladas, and I can't remember the other, and those are really good.
Say that again. Say it louder and clearer.
Yeah, the dinner at for Cinco de Mayo, which is on, you know, on
On the 5th.
on Wednesday, and that is going to be chicken enchiladas, and
some beef.
I don't have it in
And
front
a
of me.
and a beef dish.
Carnitas.
Okay, what are they called?
Carnitas.
Carnitas.
Yeah.
Carnitas, and I think it's in the mooring lines.
It's in mooring lines. It's been posted on Facebook, on all the pages, Adult Club and Port Susan, you know, Campers Chat. And
Okay. Thank you. Does Terrell have a question?
No, I was gonna say I have the information.
Go ahead.
So the Cinco de Mayo dinner at the Adult Club is Wednesday, May 5th. Chicken enchiladas, carne asada, rice beans dinner $9, dessert $2, 5 to 6:30. No dine-in after 6:30. Please use reservation form online. No calls or text will be sent.
Excellent. We're going to talk a little bit about the Architectural Committee, and the Architectural Committee has been very busy of late. And I think I'm going to make a presidential decision here. Scott, I think what we'll do is have Deb take over as the, yeah,
Are you talking about architecture? I don't want
No.
architectural.
no. Why not, Debbie?
No.
If you'd let me finish,
Oh,
my
you scared
dear. Scott does such a good job with the architectural committee, but doing that and the adult club is too much for any human being. So Deb will take over for you at the adult club. Scott.
Okay.
And happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Anyway, moving right along. Other club, committee?
Greenbelt Committee,
reports?
I'm going to be requesting a meeting with them, and I may actually want to have Pat and maybe Jenny. Oh, I'm going to be requesting a meeting for the Greenbelt, and we need to come to some ground rules again where everybody is not only meeting the needs of our neighbors, but understanding the rules of the compromise and settlement agreement and how much power they do or do not have in making the decisions they do. So we've got a little bit of revision to do, but it's going to be fine, and we'll just move forward. But we do have some work to do.
And Carol, raise your hand.
Ask a question. Hold on, Dean, you had some questions before?
There's a couple people that have asked questions on the phase 2 rollback. Will we still have shuffleboard outdoors?
I hear you.
Microphone.
Couple people have asked questions online on, for the phase 2 rollback, will we still have shuffleboard going? And the other one was, will phase 2 roll back Saturday's plant sale?
Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, those are going to be brought up during the public comments and questions.
Okay.
Okay. We got a little ahead of ourselves, Jacob. Sorry about that.
Carol had a question.
Who had a question?
Carol, raise your hand.
Terrell, go ahead.
I don't have a question. I want to know if you wanted a VRC update.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting to that next.
We're meeting, Saturday is our May meeting. We have 5 members coming before committee. I haven't received any report of requests for virtual meetings. Have you heard anything, Jacob, from anybody?
I have not.
Okay, so that's it. And then you're all to meet in person at Saturday's meeting.
Deb, did you have something you want to jump in on?
I would like to talk about the MAC committee for a minute.
Well, is she finished with the
Once Charles done.
VRC? Are you finished with VRC? Okay, go ahead with MAC.
My pen will work. I'd like to bring a motion for 3 new MAC committee members.
Have at it.
Okay, motion to accept Ron Johnson, Ann Biggs, and Linda Henson to the MAC committee.
Say that again. One more time.
Motion to accept Ron Johnson, Ann Biggs, and Linda Henson to the MAC committee.
We know 2 of the 3 pretty well.
But-
You're comfortable with that?
We're looking for volunteers.
Okay. Do I hear a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Jenny seconds. Discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hands. All those opposed?
Yes.
Unanimous. Okay. I'm looking at Scott, who is eagerly wants to get in here now.
I have just 2 comments kind of that I would like to bring up, and one of them has been brought to question, has been, asked of me, that when the messages go out, the alerts and everything, if it's something that comes from the park manager, that the people that have talked to me would, or I'll say the members, not just people, but the members, if it would say this is from the park manager, blah 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 blah, And if it's from just in general, if it's from maintenance, let us know this is coming from maintenance. So people know who is actually putting the information out. And, whichever it comes out on the alerts or on the Port Susan Camping Club page, people just want to know who is actually putting the message out. And that'd be easy enough to do, just hang a name
I
with it.
think it's a
So-
good suggestion, Pat, if you could make sure that that happens, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we sort of set up a Port Susan response. You see the little green bug? And it's a official response. We don't like to get into social media and into the fray, so I pretty much don't get into that personally. Jacob and I discuss a lot of the responses, and he makes responses to things like there have been a lot of questions about voting and a lot of questions about events and questions like that. And so typically they come from him. Maintenance and the Rangers both have the ability to post responses and post on the official announcements, if you will, and so they can do that. When they do that, their name shows up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that answers that question. Thank you. Another thing, this is something that has been personal for me since I've come into the park, and that is the flags that are being displayed at the gates and at the centers. When they get worn, when they get faded, we have plenty of money on hand to replace these flags. And if you don't, I'll go buy them if you'll put them up. It's very personal to me, and I would like to see the flags replaced when they need to be. So.
Well, Nancy's wearing one right now.
I am.
So can I respond, Bill?
Yes, please.
So at the Ranger Back Gate, they maintain an inventory of flags, and they do try and replace them. When I was there, we bought several different flags we have available at the back gate. I don't know if it's been noticed by many, but it's been, from the time I moved into the park, it's been requested that we put a Canadian flag up at the back gate. The Canadians mostly enter the park through the back gate, and surprise, John went out and put one up.
I saw that.
We have
Lovely.
a flag staff back there. What our next move is to figure out how to get them both lighted at night so that the flags are lighted.
And Ranger Nadine really cares about that, too. so-
She does.
Okay. Do you want to, Scott, do you want to discuss building code issues here or in executive session?
I think for the most part, they need to go to the executive session until we make decisions.
Okay.
Committee has to, we have to meet on these, and we're actually having a meeting on the 12th, I believe, of May with DMT and the committee members, and I believe Pat is going to be there and you'll be there. So, and Deb, but we're not there to beat anybody up. We just want to get a consensus of what is the best way to do things
To administer
to administer the codes and change what needs to be changed. And the whole purpose of the committee is to help the members to be able to do what they want to do within the guidelines of
and for safety.
and for safety within the guidelines, and to get the information out to them in a manner that can be understood. But these are things that need to be discussed, and this, it would take too long to try to do it right here. So.
Okay. Any other committee reports? Okay. Moving on to new business. Do we have new business that we need to discuss? Yeah, we've got a pretty heavy schedule for the executive session. And again, I'll remind people who don't know that the executive session is designed to discuss issues that have personal, that are of personal nature and should not and must not be discussed in public. So we adjourn to an executive session so that we can discuss those things in camera without being on camera. Anyway, do I hear a motion to adjourn? Oh, I'm sorry. Questions from members. Go ahead, Jacob.
Start with the YouTube stuff. So as mentioned, Taco Night's going to be on the 10th at Club 50. We'll send out some notifications on PSCC alerts and Facebook. Someone messaged, what about shuffleboard? Then there was a question about Phase 2 rolling back. Will that affect Saturday's plant sale?
Well, let's take plant sale first. You want to address that, Pat?
Yeah. There is a tremendous amount of flexibility with outside events compared to inside events. And the greater impact of rolling back to Phase 2 will be events we have inside. And so that's what we're looking at. Horseshoes, you know, it's outside. It's going to be easy to manage. The plant sale on the field, easy to manage. Pool, there's another question there. That's an indoor activity. I believe what they've talked about will wind up being workable, but we may have to look at numbers differently, being in Phase 2 as compared to Phase 3.
Okay, so the plant sale will go on.
It will.
Because it's outdoors. Okay. Next question, Jacob.
It's mentioned that there's a meeting for volunteers on the 6th at the Adult Club. We will be sending out a notice about that on Facebook and PSCC alerts. Someone recommended to get more information on the truck. And then somebody had a question about cargo trailers and lots for $500. They see a cargo trailer next to the trash bin.
Can you state that as a question so we can respond to it?
So what they said verbatim, so we are allowed to put cargo trailers and lots for $500 after seeing the one next to the trash bin. So their question is, there's a cargo trailer in one of the storage lots, so does that mean that they're able to put cargo trailers in the storage lots for $500?
Deb?
It's my understanding that trailer is the ELF project trailer. And the ELF project is a project every Christmas where people in the park donate things for those who are alone in the park and have no family or are shut-ins. And the things that have been donated to that are kept in there to be handed out to members who are shut-ins. Just so that you know, that's what that is.
Okay. So the answer to the question is?
That's a special thing.
It's a special dispensation for
Yes.
that particular thing.
And that was approved several years ago.
Okay. Okay, Jacob.
Next
frame another question.
Next question is there any chance of alternating the laundromat hours every other week to stay open till 8 p.m. like it used to be? Not everyone can get there by 4:30.
I can comment.
Pat?
So I look at this Phase 2 as a very unfortunate event, because I was looking at the laundromat with the idea of bringing back wash and fold and trying to go back to more comfortable hours as we completed the project on the laundromat. I have to now look at if we go back to Phase 2, what the impact is. It may put us off for a little bit longer, but it's our goal to get it back to normal operating function. We have another issue also, which impacts all of the things that we're trying to do, which is trying to find employees. People don't seem to want to go to work right now. They're getting paid not to work, and they're happy doing that. So we have not had a lot of positive responses to our very extensive advertising for employment.
That's too bad. Okay, so the answer is, we're trying to do it, but the dreaded COVID is stopping us, and the governor is probably going to get us back to phase 2 instead of phase 3. So sometime maybe in the future, we'll go to a longer hours. Okay, Jacob?
Next question is, what is the Board of Directors or PSCC doing to ensure our lease can get extended and continue to enjoy for the next 30-plus years?
Go ahead, Deb.
I believe, and I hope Jenny believes, that we are developing a very positive relationship with the Tulalip tribes, and we look forward to sitting down and maybe
Talking
starting
about the
those
next 30
discussions
years.
together in the next couple years. Would you agree, Jenny?
To answer the question, it's always on our minds. We're taking care of business in the now, but we're also providing for the future by setting up reserve funds for repair of buildings and other things in the park. So we're taking care of that, as well as looking forward to making sure that we have a viable product going forward.
Next question is the tribal forester going to come more often?
Talk into the microphone. Oh, is that on?
Nope, he has no plans of coming more often. However,
What's the schedule, so?
if is it Nadine from the ranger station that he works closely with? Maggie.
Maggie.
She can send him an email and request him to come if he needs to, and he will that away. But he's not going to make any scheduled plans of coming out.
Okay.
Next question is, when will last year's audit be posted on the website for membership?
That's a difficult question to answer because we've been trying to upgrade the statements. The statement is complete and accepted, and at the same time we're trying to upgrade our website so that what you can see is more useful and understandable information. So what I suppose an answer for today would be is that it and the new audit for this fiscal year that we just completed will be posted at the same time. We'll also have an audit meeting this year, which we were unable to have last year because of COVID. And the format that we're using for the annual meeting coming up at the end of the month on Memorial Day weekend is the same format that we have available for doing the audit. So we're set up and prepared to do that. It's just a matter of getting through the paperwork and providing it.
And the last question, can we get vending machines at the sports field for people going down to the sports field to do activities?
So there are vending machines at the laundromat, and there are soft goods, cupcakes, buns, candy bars, water, milk, Coke. There's a soft drink vending machine down there. History has shown us that our vending machines get beat up a little when we're not there watching them. We've had one of the cash machines drug across the play field and ultimately disappeared. So there is some work we'd have to do in order to do that. Having finished the buildings, we may be able to find a place that could be accomplished. We'll take a look at it.
Okay, and there's no other questions.
Thank you. Now, do I have a motion to adjourn? Bill, do you make a motion to
I
adjourn?
make the motion.
And Dean seconds. Any discussion? Although we will adjourn the regular meeting and go into executive session in 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you everybody for watching. A recording will be posted on Facebook for you to review. It's also will be posted on Facebook and YouTube, so that way you can watch it for future reference. Have a good night.